They ignored me. Not once, not twice, but every time I walked onto that base, wearing my Medal of Honor around my neck, the highest military honor in the United States. You'd think that medal would open doors, command respect, maybe even spark a conversation. Instead, I was met with cold shoulders, avoidance, and silence. It felt like I was invisible, a ghost wandering the very place I'd risked my life for. My name is Marcus. I fought in Afghanistan, witnessed horrors no one should ever have to see, and in the midst of chaos, I did what I had to do to save my fellow soldiers. For that, I was awarded the Medal of Honor. But medals don't protect you from loneliness or from the sting of being overlooked by those you once called family. Then one day, a four-star general noticed the medal. Just that moment, that simple recognition, changed everything. Suddenly heads turned, salutes were rendered, and respect filled the air. It was as if the medal alone wasn't enough until someone with real authority made it clear it should be honored. Have you ever felt invisible in a place where you gave your all? Have you been judged by appearances instead of your actions? This story isn't just about a medal. It's about respect, leadership, and the truth that sometimes recognition needs a champion at the top. Stay with me, because what happened next is a powerful reminder of why honoring sacrifice matters, not just in the battlefield, but in the hearts of those who serve. And from wherever you're watching this, stay with me, because this story is one you won't forget. They ignored a Medal of Honor recipient. When a four-star general sees the symbol, everyone salutes. I never thought a little piece of metal could hold so much power, so much meaning. But that's exactly what happened the day I wore my Medal of Honor to the base. My name is Marcus, and I served 2 tours in Afghanistan. I fought in battles that most people can't even imagine. But this isn't about the war itself. It's about respect, honor, and how sometimes the smallest things reveal the biggest truths. After my last deployment, I was awarded the Medal of Honor for actions that saved dozens of lives during a fierce firefight. It wasn't something I sought. In fact, I felt guilty accepting it while so many of my brothers and sisters never made it home. But my country wanted to recognize the sacrifice, and I accepted on behalf of those who couldn't. When I returned to the base after being discharged, I was eager to reconnect with the people I had served alongside, to share a few laughs and memories. I arrived wearing my civilian clothes and, tucked beneath my jacket, the Medal of Honor hanging proudly around my neck. But something caught me off guard. I walked through the main gate, passing soldiers and officers who barely gave me a glance. Some even looked away when I tried to nod or say hello. The camaraderie I expected was absent. It was as if the uniform was the only thing that mattered, and without it, I was invisible. It stung. I'd risked my life for these people. I'd gone through hell and back with them. Yet here I was overlooked, ignored like a ghost wandering familiar halls. I thought maybe it was the civilian clothes, but still, the medal shone bright against my chest. Days passed, and I kept coming back, attending ceremonies and meetings. No one acknowledged me. It wasn't just indifference, it felt like deliberate dismissal. The man who had endured sniper fire, IED blasts, and countless close calls was treated like a stranger. One afternoon, I was sitting alone in the base's common area, quietly sipping coffee, when I noticed a group of officers entering. Among them was a four-star general, someone known for his leadership and respect within the military community. I had seen him at a few briefings, but never interacted directly. The general scanned the room with keen eyes, and then his gaze locked onto the gleaming metal around my neck. Suddenly, everything changed. He stopped, walked over to me with a purposeful stride, and saluted. His presence commanded immediate attention. The other officers in the room snapped to attention and saluted as well. In that instant, I was no longer invisible. I was honored. The general smiled warmly and said, "Sergeant Marcus, it's an honor to meet you. Thank you for your service." His voice carried genuine respect, and in that moment, the entire room seemed to acknowledge the weight of my sacrifice. I stood up, returned the salute, and shook his hand. The walls that had been so cold and silent before now seemed to resonate with pride and recognition. Other soldiers came forward, offering their thanks and apologies for the earlier disregard. That encounter sparked something bigger than just my own experience. The general arranged a base-wide event to recognize veterans and Medal of Honor recipients. He emphasized that respect isn't just about rank or uniforms. It's about honoring those who have put everything on the line. Over the next few weeks, the culture shifted. People who once ignored me now sought conversations. They listened to my stories, asked questions, and shared their own struggles. The Medal of Honor wasn't just a decoration. It became a symbol of unity and sacrifice that brought everyone together. But the truth is, the medal itself didn't change who I was or what I had done. What changed was the recognition from leadership and the willingness of others to see beyond appearances. It reminded me that sometimes respect has to be led from the top to filter down. I realized then that true honor is not just earned on the battlefield, but also in how we treat each other when the fighting stops. A four-star general salute made a difference because it showed that respect starts with those who hold power. From that day on, I never took a single nod or handshake for granted. I knew that the battles I fought didn't end overseas. They continued here, in the hearts and minds of the people we serve with. If there's one thing I want people to take away from my story, it's this. Never ignore the quiet sacrifices. The man without a uniform may carry the heaviest burdens. And sometimes all it takes is one act of respect from a leader to remind everyone what true honor really means.